you were white, and we had another e4, e5. And now you play the bishop to that much better square than d3. Remember, a few games ago, went to d3. c4 is a better square. Bishop e6. And b3. It's okay. I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather have you play the bishop to b5 or just take on e6. Because after b3, bishop takes, b takes, we have those pawns again. They're not isolated this time because if they're in the other game, they were isolated c pawns. In this case, there's still another pawn, which means it's not isolated, so it's not as bad. So it's fine, it's okay. But in general, I would say if your bishop gets attacked, either play it away or just swap it off and you keep your pawns nicely straightened out. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But in itself, b3 is not bad. And your pawn also, it is another pawn closer to the center. You control a square in the center, so it cannot be that bad. And it isn't. Knight f6 and d3. Okay, you have doubled pawns, but this is a nice little unit of pawns here. So it's fine. Queen e7. You castled and he castled queenside. And now you play d4. I like that, pushing in the center. And it's protected well enough. This guy's protected as well. So you had it all. You had seen it all. He took. Knight takes, and queen takes. The only drawback is that these are now isolated again. But it's okay. You know, you have a good. What is nice, what is important here, and again, it's quite a more advanced topic than we have talked about so far. These pawns are on light squares, and you have a bishop of the dark squares, which in fact is great because those pawns will not be in the way of your bishop. Wherever your bishop goes, it will have the c3 square available. The bishops are not standing in the way of, the pawns are not standing in the way of the bishop. So from that point of view, the bishop coordinates well with the two pawns. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. c5. Hitting your queen drop back, and rook e8. And here we have a not a check establishes attack. Here we have attackers versus defenders. How many times is that pawn attacked and defended, Aran?
Twice.
Twice attacked. What? Twice attacked?
3 times.
Yeah. And defended?
Twice.
Okay. So, why to play? What would you do here to make sure you don't lose that pawn?
Add another defender.
How do you do that?
F3.
F3. Exactly. F3. Or I guess rook e1 works as well. Yeah, but you played queen e2. Not sure why you played that move. The queen had just gone to e3 from here, and now you bring it back to e2. And he says, thank you very much for the pawn. Knight takes, queen takes. So black has won a pawn here. Queen d1. And he could have taken another pawn. What can black do here? Can he take a second pawn?
c2. No, he can't. Not c2. Sorry, c4.
Yeah, he could just have taken on c4. So if we go back to this position where he just has taken on e4, what can you do here to make sure you don't lose the c pawn? The c4 pawn.
Rook to e1. It's because if he takes, can I do to make sure I don't lose that?
Let's play rook e1, and you tell me if that's a good move.
So if he can't take.
He can't take where?
c4.
He can't take c4. Can he take something else?
You can take my queen.
Yes. The queen is attacked twice and only defended once. So rook e1 is not a good move. Let's try again. What would you do here? What was your you played queen d1
Queen d3.
Yeah, queen d3 is a nice move. I like queen d3. If he takes, you're straightening out your pawns again. The pawns are happier, and he won't take on c4. So that's a nice move.
Yeah.
Yeah, queen d3. So you see now the why we are not happy with isolated pawns.
Yeah.
Because he's just weak, and there's no. You would love to play b3 or d3 just to protect the pawn, but they can be very weak. Those pawns can be very lonely. That's why we try to avoid isolated double pawns, isolated pawns in general. Okay. So queen d1, and he could have taken another pawn, but he played g6 instead. He wants to complete his development.
Yeah.
And now you play rook e1, and I think we talked about this on Messenger. I asked you the question, why is rook e1 a bad move here?
Oh yeah, because it's a checkmate. He takes, I take, takes.
Yeah, mate in two, exactly. So another tactic. You see what a tactical game chess is. You can think, oh, put my rook on an open file, kicking the queen, but you have to look at the tactics as well. The checks, captures, attacks. He didn't see it. He played queen c6. You got away with it.
Yeah.
Bishop f4. I like that move. Developing, getting the bishop into the game. Black is a bit better because he is an extra pawn. Apart from that, not much is happening. Bishop g7, attacking your rook. Rook b1, open file, and rook e6. Now you decided to take. F takes, and you say, thank you very much. I spotted a pawn.
Yes.
Okay, I think we talked about this. I think it was with you, yeah. Okay, I'll explain it this way. Bishop takes e6. It grabs a pawn, but it's not a good move because black has a nice reply with a pin. Yeah. What did you say? What did you see?
No, I didn't see that. I can't see Rick. Sorry.
I'm looking for a pin.
What pins me to anything? Okay, so rook to d8.
Rook d8. Ouch, because the bishop cannot move, because the queen is hanging. And it's attacked twice, the bishop, and only defended once, and you cannot defend it again.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. So, but going after the pawn is still good, but you should take with the queen, get the queen up front, and then there's no pins.
Yeah.
I think we had it. Did we not have that last week as well, where you took with the, let's say, the lower value piece instead of with the higher value piece?
Maybe, but I understand it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's safer, probably when in 8 out of 10 times, it's safer to take with a higher valued piece in this situation because you're threatening to swap the queens. The queen cannot go too far because there are all sorts of stuff with bishop c7 checkmate if the queen goes too far. Queen c7 checkmate is in the position. So, and rook d8 now does nothing because you just take the queen, swap the queen. So probably 8 out of 10 times is better to capture with a higher valued piece to avoid any tactics. Yeah, want to remember. He took with the bishop, he missed rook d8, and he played a6 instead. You play bishop g3, back, b5, take, rook c1. What's that about, Aran? Rook c1.
Yeah, I just shook my head there.
Okay. Yeah. I don't see the point really.
No, not me.
No. Okay, good. In the previous 2 games ago, I think you had an idea with c3 to kick a queen that was on d4. But in this case, I guess you only play your rook behind the pawn if you want to play the pawn up. But you don't I don't think that really works in this position. Okay, let's forget about it then. Rook c1 is just not a good move. Rook d8, that's a better move. Putting another open file, you save your queen. Bishop b2, attacking that rook, forcing the rook to a better square. So thank you very much. You know, that was black helping you. And bishop d4. Oops. This one and bishop d4. That's a nice bishop, you know, centralized on a nice square. Looking at your king a bit. You played bishop h4, attacking his rook. Rook f8. Rook e1. Switching the rook now to a much better square. You know, e1 is a much better square than c1, where it was before. Makes a world of a difference. Attacking this guy with two pieces. You know, both your queen and your rook are now attacking that pawn. So it's a nice move. The pawn cannot play up because it's pinned. So he saw nothing better than rook e8, which is not a move you want to make. Having to protect the pawn in a passive way with a rook behind it. You know, the rook is not happy. And you have a nice position here. Slightly better. You played h3, making a bit of air for the king in case it's needed in the future.
Yeah.
And here he resigned. He probably had to... the doorbell rang, or he had to go somewhere. The game was not played out.